Hi, good morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here. It's Friday. We could do Friday dance. Friday dance. Friday. Payday, too. Yep. Um, okay. What's going on? Still in my funk, but thank you guys for all your kind words. It has meant so much to me, all your support. I'm getting through it. I'll, you know, I'll get through it. So, work yesterday. Oh, I didn't leave till like 4 o'clock, I think. Um, just lots of busy work, nothing major. One of my coworkers was there, and whenever she's there, of course, we have to catch up. We get to, I tell her what's going on. She tells me what's going on with her kids. And so, we end up talking for like hours. We did get some work done. I got some work done. She did leave after a little while. And then I was, what am I doing here? Okay, now I know. So, and then I was, then it was back to work. So, and then I got home and the dogs were like, "We missed you. Where have you been?" Oh my God. This, there's like a stray drill here. What is that doing there? This morning, they thought, "Oh my God, she's getting dressed. She's going to work." Like Tootsie was so concerned. She was following me around like, "I am not letting you out of this house today. You're not going to work." I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm staying home. I'm working from home." So she's finally now just kind of settled down, like, okay, mom's not going to work. Anyway, so today is National Unicorn Day. Now, how the heck we celebrate that, I don't know. I can, let's see. I do have a unicorn diamond painting. I bought one from Star or oh my God, eons ago. Do y'all remember that? It was a purple one, and then I think Diamond Art Club came out with one that said something about sparkling, and that one I didn't really care for. It was very cartoonish. So I don't have that one. Some of you might. I think Crashly had that one. But today would be the day to maybe watch a show that has unicorns in it. It's a mythical creature, clearly. It doesn't really exist. Looks like a horse with a horn that comes out. This game that I play, that I used to play, I haven't played it in a long time. And I miss it. Oh my God, I miss that game. And I don't know if it's really a game. It's more like an immersive experience. You're there, you're building, you're building things. Like I've built so many structures. I like to build houses and stables for my animals and farms, and anyway, I've castles. I've built all kinds of things in this game, but and you can go on different maps in this game. So, and each map is huge. Like it would take you months to go everywhere on this map. But you can find a spot on the map where you want to build, and it could be in a dangerous area, it could be in a not so dangerous area, because there's things that want to kill you, like animals, dinosaurs, crocodiles, things like that. But on every map there is one unicorn. And for you to see that unicorn, it's like, oh, there it is. I mean, it's so unusual to actually find the unicorn on any of these maps, because like I said, there's only one. And you can tame it. So I've become quite good at like locating the unicorns. I just know kind of what to watch out for. But when you see it, you're like, oh, there's this mystical creature in the middle of this dinosaur game. and it's a white horse with a unicorn. So once you tame it and take, call it your own, the map will generate another unicorn. Um, I know it's silly, but that's my take on unicorns. So I mean, these mythical creatures can show up anywhere in any movies, different things. And I didn't find like an actual origin to the unicorn, but are they real? Nah. So moving on, I am diamond painting Alice. Yesterday, like I said, after work, I just came home. It wasn't quite time for dinner. And well, according to Jake, it was time for dinner, but not for me. So I just sat down here, put the trial on my iPad, and diamond painted. I got a lot of this, filled in stuff that was, I need to like roll my roller over it. I hope you guys have one of these. This is great. I don't know if you can hear that. It just kind of pushes the diamonds down. I haven't done that. So I filled in a lot of the spaces here, and I'm kind of moving this way and this way, if I have something that goes both ways. I know, that's what she said. Anyway, so now I'm kind of working the greenery over here. And the Cheshire Cat is right here. This is part of his body here and here. So this is the Cheshire Cat. Here's his arm that we'll be filling in. But there's all these black lines, that's Hannah Lynn and Mandy Manzano. They love their black lines. But then we have this tree going up here, and he's got this really cool top hat on. I don't know if you can see it. Look at the band of the top hat. That's going to be cool. I think I might bling some of the band. That would be cute. I think I might. Because I have the purple and I have the pink. Because the pink is like, here I use the pink in her lips. And the purple I used the pink over here. And where did I use the purple? The purple, like, oh, you can't see it. She can't see it, guys. Some over in here. Where is it? Hold on. I'm looking at the camera because I want you to see there. I used the purple. So I might use like this and this, the pink and the purple up in his headband. I think that'd be kind of cool. All right, let's do Judge, Jury, and Journey. I don't know what that cheer was about. So day 8, part 2. So I told you I would make up for the day that I didn't finish watching the whole thing. So a long day yesterday watching. I watched this at work, and I also just I sat here and diamond painted and watched it, and then later on I just sat in my bed and watched it because I didn't really feel like watching television or interacting with people. My sister finally called. Hello. And she's like, what's going on? I'm like, I keep trying to call you and it goes directly to voicemail. She's like, well, that doesn't happen to anybody else. I'm like, well, clearly you have me blocked. She's like, why would I block you? I'm like, I don't know, but you have. So she said, I'm going to hang up. You try to call me right back. So I try to call her right back. It goes to voicemail. So I'm waiting. Finally, I figure, eventually she's going to call me. So she's like, well, did you try it? I said, it went to voicemail. You have me blocked. So she must have told her boyfriend, because she calls me back. She goes, oh my God, I blocked you. Like, yes, you did. So I am now unblocked on my sister. I'm like, I've been trying to catch up with you for weeks. So anyway, I got to talk to my sister, but I didn't feel like talking to anybody else yesterday. I didn't want to have any conversation. So I watched the trial. So why do I say so much? Anyway, The lead investigator, this guy, he's a lead investigator with this Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which I've never heard of such a thing. Um, I lived in Florida for a long time. We never had any equivalent to that I know of. Maybe there was. I don't know. But apparently they take over when there's these critical incidents. So they have the lead investigator on. He's kind of well dressed, sort of like an Indian background, I guess. But the whole time he's testifying, he's looking majorly pissed off. Like somebody pissed in his Cheerios. Like he just didn't want to be there. The defense attorney would ask him a question and he'd be like, I don't know what was going on with him. But he through this investigator, they got the Dragon Walk video in. So up until now, we have not seen. We've seen some video. Now the Dragon Walk video is this restaurant. Dragon Walk is this Chinese restaurant right across the street from Cup Foods. And it gives us a very different angle. We can see what's going on in George Floyd's vehicle. So at one point we see George Floyd's vehicle pull up. George Floyd gets out. The other guy, Mr. Hall, he gets out, and they go into the store. And they're like stumbling through traffic. Like at one point, there was a car coming, and I thought, are they going to wait for the car to pass? And then they kind of like go behind the car. I don't know. To me, it looked like George was kind of stumbling. So they go into the store, and then we don't see the rest. The next time we see footage from that camera angle is after the event is over, the ambulance is gone. But if you watch George Floyd's vehicle, the ex-girlfriend and Mr. Hall are standing next to the passenger door, which is open. She's going through the vehicle passenger seat. He's reaching into his backpack and he throws something like really far away. Now, whether he's ever going to take the stand and testify, I don't know, but they're clearly creating some inferences around this guy. Like, this is a bad guy, So we saw that video. So this guy kind of sets up he also confirms different aspects of the timeline. He says that that he called his crime scene tech team to come process the both George Floyd's vehicle and car 320, and later on we'll hear that testimony. Let's see. So on cross, he was asked to listen to this isolated utterance of George Floyd saying something to the effect of, "I ate too many drugs." Well, other people have listened to that. It says he's saying, I didn't do any drugs. I mean, I can't tell what he's saying, but this guy, like I said, he didn't want to be there. So the defense asks him, did you hear him say, "I ate too many drugs today"? And the investigator goes, "Yep, I heard him say that." What? Why would you agree with that? I don't know. I don't know what was going on with this investigator. But one of the things that this guy, they did clear up through this witness was during some of the video, you can see like a liquid pouring out, coming down from, the other side of the car. And some people have speculated that, this was when George Floyd passed away and that he urinated and that it's urine coming down. But this investigator said no, this was condensation from the vehicle. It was not urine. So, okay, we have that straightened out. 'Cause I think it's a myth that when you die, I mean, I don't think everybody urinates when they die, but I mean, no question your bladder will relax, but I think it does happen, but anyway. Okay, so then they bring in two forensic scientists from this same organization, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. And one of them, what happened was they originally processed the vehicle. They took it. The reason they didn't do it on the scene because it had rained. One of the crime scene techs, forensic people said, I went out to the scene. I was asked to process the scene. It had already rained. I looked, I had to watch the video because, car 320 had already been moved to another location. So where this event happened, she had to figure it out from the video. So she watches the video. She goes over to where this happened by Foos to see if there's any blood splatters on the ground. Well, it had rained. She didn't find any. So, and she figured, it's raining. I'm just going to take these cars because it's raining. It's dark. I'm going to take them back to our compound where the lighting is better. I've got all my equipment. So she processed the vehicle with the knowledge that this man, was trying to be apprehended by police for passing a fake, $20 bill. It's like, in other words, she was never told that drugs had anything to do with this. So she wasn't looking for drugs when she processed, if they were there, she, it had nothing to do with. She's only looking for things that have evidentiary value. The gum in the past, in the whatever you call that little space where, of the car, it's not evidentiary. There's no evidentiary value to it. Neither would be a pill if you found it, because she had no knowledge that there were drugs involved. But so at some point, the defense asked the BCA, could you reprocess this vehicle now? Now there's an issue of drugs. Could you reprocess the vehicle and see if there are any drugs in the car? So this same woman, she goes and she reprocesses the vehicle and finds 2 pills. She finds, and the pills are unidentified. They're just sitting there in the dash, whatever that little space I don't know what you call it. Like between you and the passenger, there's like a little space. I plug my phone into that, my charger in there. I don't know what it's called. Sometimes there's a lighter thing that you can push in. Maybe I'm dating myself. Do they still have those things, the little lighters? I don't think so. I think they all have USB ports now. So anyway, and she finds some other like drug residue in various locations. So she gathers all that, and this is where the next forensic scientist comes in, because she is the person that tests the drugs. So she tested, there was also a pipe that was collected out of the vehicle. So she tested the pipe. The pipe did not have any cannabis in it. And by that she meant there was like no leafy material. It was just residue. But the residue clearly had THC in it. So this was the pot smoking pipe, apparently. Then she tested the 2 pills. On the 2 pills were pharmaceutical markings that she did not recognize. She had never seen these markings. But one of the first things she does is she will look in the database to see if they match any pills that are in the database. And these 2 pills did match a particular company, and they were identified, the markings were identified as oxycodone and acetaminophen, which is basically Percocet. But when she tested them, and she did testify, oftentimes people can imitate these markings on the pills. But when she tested the pills, The pills had methamphetamine and fentanyl, no oxycodone or acetaminophen. So the pills were clearly um, counterfeit, I guess is what you'd say. I don't know what the word for it is. Then she tested some of that loose material particles, and that was also methamphetamine. So I think that was really, really interesting. What these two women testified. Also, the other forensic scientist, she tested the pills as well for DNA. What do you think about that? Yes, just and they came back with only one male. Because maybe multiple people touched that pill, but apparently only one person's DNA was on it. One male. Hi, what's up? Oh, you need to go out? Okay, okay. This is how she tells me she wants to go out. She bumps my arm. She just comes over and nudges me. Hold, please. Okay, I let her out. So she'll want back in like 5 minutes. Oh, so she was testing these pills. She found one male, and then she was able to match that DNA to a known sample of George Floyd's. So those were George Floyd's pills. Clearly, interesting. So the next witness, I was this the day before? Yeah, no. Okay, so that was done. We're done with the 8th. Now day 9 of the trial. The first witness is a pulmonary expert. He's an expert in pulmonary critical care. And I felt so bad for the jury because this man was so boring. So boring. Yeah. He had like these illustrations of the lungs doing this and that, and he had like this, this theory about buckets, and I didn't understand it all. And I do medicine, so, but what he said was, he died because his tidal volume, which gives you your shallow breath, was decreased. So you always have a little bit of air in your lungs, but you need more. But even when you exhale, like if you exhale just as hard as you can, there's still there's a volume still left of air still left in your system. But he said it was decreased in George Floyd, and this is what caused his death. And the fact that this was decreased because he was, 1, in the prone position, 2, he was handcuffed and on the street, and 3, because there was a knee on his neck and a knee on his back. And this guy also noticed that, the officers he's handcuffed, and they keep pushing the handcuffs up, which is doing something with his chest, with his diaphragm and his ribs. You need the diaphragm and your ribs to be able to move so you can breathe. So, there wasn't enough oxygen getting to his brain, and he, at one point he is attempting to speak. So this means, yes, he's getting some oxygen to his brain. This is what he was trying to say. But then you can see the point where everything changes, and, he does this kind of twitch, his legs relax. He says, this is the point of the brain injury. At this point, there's no more oxygen going to his brain. So this made me wonder, was he even salvageable? Like if they had started CPR when they saw no pulse, would it have made a difference? Because once that brain injury occurs, they're still on top of him for a couple more minutes, which, wow. Yeah. Now this guy was on for like most of the day. But there was another witness. Now let me think. Who was this next witness? Um, I can't remember. Because, I was laying in bed listening to it, and I wasn't writing stuff down. I'm like, oh, I'll remember all that. Um, Hold on. Let me just check. Okay, I have refreshed my recollection, and you will hear that a lot during the trial. Oftentimes, because time has passed between when an event occurs or when an expert has reviewed materials and rendered his report, um, but because this is on film and this has been, all of these people have created reports. Um, you are the attorney is allowed to let you refresh your recollection by looking at what you documented contemporaneously with when the event occurred or when you did your review. And for me, it was for when I was laying in bed at night watching this guy. So this was Dr. Bill Smock. He was an emergency room, a forensic ER doctor, which I've never heard of. And what this means is that he is an expert in basically going, reviewing what occurs, what brings people to the ER, how it occurs, and giving opinions. So he, much like the pulmonary guy, and much like what you're going to hear today from an expert medical examiner, they're just hammering the jurors with the same thing over and over. This guy also testifies to, I've watched the video, and he says, I can visibly see the point where this guy has an anoxic brain injury. In other words, no more oxygen is getting to his brain. And what he says is, you watch him and you can see his verbalizations are getting slower and slower. His breath is getting slower and slower. And at one point, you actually can see the seizure. He said you could hear the handcuffs shake. You can see the body cam video shake. You can see his legs shake. So this is what they call a seizure, a brain seizure. And it means that's it. There's no more oxygen getting to the brain. So now this is the second person to give the same testimony, that there was a brain injury here, and that this guy died from asphyxia, lack of oxygen to the brain. So, just keep watching, because like I said, today there's an expert medical examiner who's going to go over this same thing. They're just going to keep bringing, different experts in from different angles, and they're hammering this. They want the jury to think asphyxia, not a heart attack, asphyxia. No oxygen getting to that brain. So that is day 8 and day 9 of Judge, Jury, and Jury, the George Floyd Murder Trial. So today I will be watching day 10, and I'm so glad it's Friday. Tomorrow I'm going to go out. I have one bill I have to go. I like to pay it in person, so I go over and I'll pay it. And then the lawn guy's coming tomorrow. I've got an exciting life. You know what I just ordered? I have this beautiful little brick area right outside the door where I let the dog out. And I'm going to get the lawn guy to kind of clean that area up, weed it really good, and then I'm going to sweep it really good and make it nice. And so what I ordered was this outdoor, not an expensive one, like an outdoor rocking chair, and then a little table where I can go out and sit and maybe crochet. And the dogs like to sit out in the sun, but they always want to be with me. So I think it'd be nice to go out and get some sun. I think, some of the depression that we all may be experiencing would be, lack of vitamin D, lack of sunlight, getting, we got to get outside. It was very nice yesterday to get out, to talk to people that I haven't talked to in a long time. Um, oh, and the plumber came. I can wash laundry. That's another thing I'm going to do today. I got to do the dadgum laundry. Oh, but I did not do this day in history. But Tootsie wants in. 1 minute. So this day in history is really interesting. Let me find the year. (1940), April 9th, 1940. Sylvan Goldman invents the shopping cart. Now, it was not when he first debuted, and I'll put up the blueprint for it. When it first debuted, guys didn't want to use it because it was, kind of that's a woman thing. If you even had a guy grocery shopping, maybe the single guys, I don't know. And the women thought it looked too much like a baby carriage, which that's what I thought when I saw it. Well, it looks like a stroller. But of course, it's evolved over time. But then it became very popular, and this guy became a multi-millionaire. And he also invented the how they slide together. What do they call that? The nesting, the shopping carts. That was his invention, so they could put them all together in a compact little area. And don't you hate to struggle with those things? Like, oh, I'm going to choose this one. It won't come out. You jiggle it around. It won't come out. So now you got to go to the next row, and this one comes out, but the wheel is jacked up. Now you got to go to the third row, and finally you find a shopping cart. Then you got to go clean it up, and yeah. So also, before we go, a couple of things. I have this puzzle. Some of you guys enjoyed the last puzzle, so I'm going to put this up. See if you can figure out what the phrase is here. And if you've done this before, you can. I don't care. I just want to see how clever you guys are. I didn't figure it out. I'm not that clever. And the other thing, today, I just found out this morning, I guess it just happened this morning, Prince Philip of the royal family, he was 99 years old. He passed away this morning in his sleep. God bless him. He was married to Queen Elizabeth for 73 years. Can you imagine being married to someone? I can't imagine being married to someone for 7 minutes. I've had my I've been married, but 73 years, and he passed away. Now, here's what I'm wondering. His wife is like 93, I believe. Usually, when a couple has been together that long, when one passes away, it isn't too much longer before the other one, passes away as well. When my dad passed away, like almost a year later to the day, my stepmom passed away, and they had been together for over like 33 years. So it just happens. Sometimes it's a very short period of time. I know my ex-husband's father, my mother-in-law, when my ex-husband, he passed away from COVID back in February of last year, and then his father died in March, like a month later, and his mother, she just said, I'm done. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to live anymore. I've lost my husband. I've lost my son. And she lived about 11 months after her husband passed away. She passed away. Yeah. It's a thing. So why should I end on a sad note? So sorry, guys. Yeah, but they were actually planning the celebration, the 100th birthday celebration of this man. And now they got to scrap that and plan a funeral. But Condolences to the royal family, for that loss, and for everybody, you guys in the UK. I know you love your royal family, and I'm sure Prince Philip meant a lot to you guys. He did a lot for you, for the country. He was an interesting character. If you watch The Crown, you'll find all about Prince Philip. He was an interesting guy, and very good looking in his younger days, I'm sure. So that is the show today. I don't think it was as long as I thought it would be. Once again, thank you guys all for your kind words. Let's just keeping it real, right? Take care, everybody. I will see you tonight, 7 p.m. Central in Mickey Sunshine's Live. I will be in the chat, or I don't think I'm supposed to be on her show tonight. I'm not sure. I think I was on her show last week. No, she's on my show this week. We do it every other week for the Mystery Diamond Painting. So I think tonight she has a special announcement about a new collab she's doing with Principal Painter and Mystery of Diamonds. So tune in 7 p.m. Central for that, and DP Addiction Adventures at 8 p.m. Central. And there she is calling me now. Bye, everybody. Love you. Take care.